Welcome back, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. We're showing some love here on the Entrepreneurial Web with my guest, Craig Selinger. Did I say it right? Selinger.
Selinger.
Damn it. You think I'd know my dojo husband's last name? No, that's how it goes in the world of martial arts. Quick shout out. What's up, Noreen? What's up, Mary Condi? What's up, Serena? We just talking about you. Were your ears burning? It was all good. Yes. I swear. This time it was good. And yeah. Anyways. Back to showing yourself some love. And no, not that way, you freaks. Some self-love for definitely for, it could be your website, it could be whatever your digital presence is, getting to that point where you have the right things in place, you have the right communication. It really comes down to communication, right? I think after all your degrees and that education, which I still am kind of shocked by,
it worked. My education worked.
That it really,
not for business, but as a speech language pathologist.
No.
Yeah, but not with business.
But it comes down. No, I disagree.
Yeah.
Like that night you came to the focus group, I was like, oh, this dude's got it. He's got the
Thank
bug.
You.
Yeah. So that was when I think the real romance started.
Sure.
And then I started to go lighter on you in the dojo. I don't know if you noticed. But
I see how it goes.
Let you, I don't submit you all the time. I let you slip out of some things.
But it's gonna be hot the next time we're rolling.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It is. So it really comes down to your ability to communicate to the right people, because obviously, like for you, you have a target audience.
Yes.
If you got good linguistics and everybody in your family does, they don't need your service.
No,
right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So know who you're talking to and know how to communicate to them in a way that inspires some reciprocity on that gets you bumped up. And then so the other article I sent you had to do with SMOs, which is the paid version. So Craig had mentioned in the last segment, SEOs are unpaid for the most part. You can pay somebody to help you with them, but you don't pay for the service itself.
Yes.
Or you don't pay for the optimization itself. You could pay somebody that will help you align yourself non-organically to be in the top rankings of search engines, which I've done. But then there's SMOs, which you actually pay for. And that's like when you open a Google page and there's those sponsored ads at the top. What that article had mentioned was that as a new business, you probably should do both, but at different times. What they had pointed out, I don't know if you got to read the whole thing, was SMOs are better at the beginning.
Yes.
So you're brand new. Nobody even knows you exist. One of my favorite quotes, and I use this for one of my first shows ever, is if a tree falls in an empty forest, does it make a sound? If there ain't nobody there to hear it, sure, the sound waves go in motion, but if nobody's there to hear it, did it really happen?
Right.
And that's very true of your business, especially digitally. Like you might be brick and mortar along a little spot where people can walk by and see you. Okay, that's exposure, that's attention. But if you don't have a shop, if you're just digital, this is your domain. This is where you got to be like pounding the door. You got to. The other one I like is the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yes.
So you got to be like. You just gotta pound, man. You gotta be loud. And SMOs and SEOs are a great way to do it. So they were saying, pay for SMOs up front. Maybe it's only a 2-month run. You know, you don't have to put a ton of money into that, and then start to work your organic with SEOs. Maybe work with, you could find a company, and I think this is what we did with Della, was we found a company that did SMO at the beginning, and we also paid them to help us strategically align the SEO, so that as we went forward in the SMO, money ran out, we had good placement for organic, and it's worked out well. We come up. I'm pleased. I could do a couple things to tweak it and make it a little better, but it seems to be good. The response has been good.
Yeah. So this is how I would kind of summarize going back to SEO. So let's say you're new. Let's say you're starting a website, or let's say you haven't updated your website in a long time and you plan on revamping it. The way with website design now is you have to think about it. I mean, you don't have to, but if you have a product or a service that can help customers,
which is entrepreneurship.
Yes, right.
As a whole,
you're not a sleaze bag, and you're offering, right?
Hi, Maria. Happy Valentine's Day.
So if you have something to offer your customers and you have decent SEO over time, you'll do fine. Yeah. Honestly, you'll do fine.
In terms of people being able, when people go to search for that service, especially geographically speaking,
absolutely,
Google tries to make sense of it. So if you're in Brooklyn,
it's going to lead to more opportunities.
Yeah.
How you convert it, that's a different story.
Sure.
But if you have a good product and you have decent SEO, it will definitely lead to opportunities.
And Google reviews play into that as well.
Yes.
Like
there's
all the
a mathematical
interactions.
equation.
Yeah.
So that's what SEOs. Now, if you're doing paid advertisement, it's as you said, like it really depends on the situation. For a lot of people, you should do both. You know, for some people,
I think everybody should do a little bit of both, but you have to look and see how the reactions are.
But regardless, you have to have good SEO. So if you're redoing your website or you're starting a new website, there are a lot of web designers that don't take content, that they look at the design and the visuals, but they don't think about necessarily the SEO of the content.
Yeah.
And you really need to find a graphic designer that understands like up-to-date SEO or how you work in SEO, because you don't want to start kind of like a virtual shop and then you got to retrace it and then redo it. So they have to go kind of in tandem.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a quick example of like really cool. So Varuna, who's listening, hi Varuna again. So because I have decent SEO, she's from India and she came to the States. This was maybe 8 or 9 years ago. And she was in the States and she brought her son, Jay, who needed some help. And so myself and Sarah, who's one of the first speech pathologists that I hired, we worked with this family. Now, they found us online. They also happened to get a recommendation from someone they knew in New York City. So that led to an opportunity. We met Varuna. And now we're like really good friends. Like, you know, a few years later, she invited us to India and we stayed with her family.
Nice.
She was back in New York this past summer. So we hung out. And again, that just, you know, it just led to an opportunity, right? So there's, in terms of SEO, there is no harm. There's really it's just time, putting in the time, and it will lead to, guaranteed will lead your business opportunities. Even if you're not in a business, let's say you're obsessed with snails and you want to like, you know, tell the world you're passionate.
Here's the Gary Vee talking.
Yes.
You like Smurf hats? You can sell Smurf hats.
Yeah. And if you get the content and good SEO, you're going to lead to more opportunities. You'll meet other people that are obsessed with snails, whatever, right?
Right. And I think it's important, again, to note that the same really, you could carry that over into your social media, which I think is really,
it all carries over. Absolutely.
Which is really important and not something you can neglect these days, especially like 150% if you're purely digital, but everybody needs it. I mean, if you're brick and mortar, if you're a service, whatever, if you're a restaurant, it doesn't matter. You still have to play in that stratus somehow, and that those same principles apply, being like situating 100%. Your content the right way. If it means you hire somebody even briefly to help you understand what is relevant content today, and know that it'll change in a year. It might be a little different. Like right now, video is super hot.
Yes.
And video is hard. I've had to figure it out myself, and I've finally hired some people to help me with it a little bit. But for a little while, I was just doing it myself, and I was like, man, this is a grind.
It's a lot of work.
I don't love it. I don't love it. I enjoy it. It was good to learn, but I don't love video editing. But knowing what's hot and then creating the video the right way to get that engagement, and you can use that same video on your website to help improve your SEO.
Absolutely, it's a circle of life.
Yes. You watch too much Lion King. Yeah. So we got a few moments left.
Yeah.
I want you to drop a nugget on everybody. What else you got in your pockets?
That was it. Maybe if you invite me and it's like a different holiday. For Hanukkah, I'll bring a menorah. I'll bring dreidels.
Any last minute thoughts for people who are already in it or thinking about doing it, that just something that really has helped you along the way? Be successful and maintain your focus, and besides training with me and just being surrounded with me, seeing me every day.
No, at the end of the day, it's being true to yourself. It's kind of figuring out who you are, what your passion is, and creating opportunities. And when you have opportunities, and something pops up, it's a really great experience. You jump on it, take advantage of it. If there's something bad that happens, it's a learning experience, right? So in life, it's all about getting out there, and the core of a really good website is SEO, which it's the grounding of SEO. And if you learn how to have the basics of SEO, and you could literally learn, like go on YouTube or read online, like literally in one day, you can become a beginner in SEO if you commit just to one day. And from there, if you commit to it and you use that to drive, your business, your passion, you'll do well and you'll create opportunities. And that's a really good starting point for people that don't have particularly the brick and mortar businesses. And if you do have brick and mortar, you should consider SEO. You shouldn't neglect it.
You still need it.
You still need it. Absolutely.
Where can people find out information about your companies?
Sure. You can go to brooklynletters.com or tempatutors.com.
Very nice. And social
Yeah.
media, you guys are
Yeah, a little bit. We're a little
gotta
behind the
catch
curve.
up on that.
We're a little slow
you
on
got that. I was like, I was
Yeah.
talking directly to you. No,
I
I'm kidding.
know.
I'm just
Yeah,
joking.
we're a
You're
little behind
man.
with that.
You're on it. You're on it.
We're on Facebook. We're not on Instagram. I think
You're on Instagram.
Our businesses. I'm not on Instagram.
You've only posted like 6 times in the last 3
really
years.
bad. But we're right now.
I tagged you anyway.
Oh, you did? Oh, thank you. We're
time to go.
we're on our way. We're gonna do better. That's one of our.
I know what
goals,
you're doing
social
for the rest of the day.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. That was awesome. Love. Show yourself some love. Show your business some love. Take a little bit of this advice. He's creeping me out. I will choke you. All right. I hope you all have a wonderful Valentine's Day. If you don't have somebody to love, love yourself. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll check in with you next week. You listen to the Entrepreneurial Web.